The following podcast has extremely high levels of Kenny Bolin. Studies have shown that excessive exposure to Kenny Bolin may have damaging effects to your physical and mental well-being. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, we mean it. There will be naughty words, lots of them, probably. Now you've been warned. This warning sponsored by the Story Time with Dutch Mantel.
The following program is rated TV-14 for coarse language and adult themes. Viewer discretion is advised. If you don't pull out your wallets and give, Kenny Bolin will curse you out. That is guaranteed.
Or just pull out their cell phones and go into that technology they have today, where they don't even need their wallet.
That's an old reference, right? Archaic reference.
I mean, I had the old technology with me today, the Bolin wallet. There it is. Got a tracking device on it. If you need to get access to the thousands of credit cards I've got, they're all right there. And my son hooked me up on this. The Temu had that because I was carrying around that big bulky ass wallet. Right. This carries your cash and all your cards and IDs and everything you need. And it's got a little tracking device built in it to where if you lose it, you hit your tracker and it finds it.
There you go.
And then I took one of my business cards and put my name on it. That way, if I lose my wallet, and let's say I've got, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of credit cards and several thousand
dollars. That wallet. You're going to say
they pick that up. Oh, I got to return this. Yeah, I got to return this to Mr. Bolin. Sir Bolalot is what I got to do. So I want you to know that every time that I've lost my wallet, except for at a zoo, not a zoo, but a petting zoo, it has been returned to me every time. And every time it had all the cash in it. But that was back when I didn't, most people didn't even have credit cards back then.
Yeah, I don't think that I have ever lost my wallet.
And one time I lost it, I had $7,000 cash in my wallet. This is when I lost trust in banks. That's when the IRS had got me without a warning back in 1984. And then and I still carried cash after that. I took all my money that I had left in the bank because I thought I was doing real good. And then I wasn't doing as good when the IRS got me. And I got no notice that they were getting ready to hit me. And
that's how they work. It's not like, hey, Mr. Bolin, we're getting ready to investigate you. You might want to move all your money to the case.
Well, no, they should send you a fucking notice and say, here's what you owe us. Would you like to make some payment arrangements? Would have been nice. Rather than just yank it out of my fucking
they probably did, but they sent it to like 4 addresses ago or something.
Well, it could have been in any of my 4 names too.
Could be that too.
They didn't know which name.
Actually, I think they went to a former.
I never dreamed they would get the name they got. I really did.
I think they went to a former friend of yours who laughed and tore them up.
I'm going to say it right now. Adam Copeland's drinking again. I have no doubt.
Well,
Kevin Mars' boss is a line. I hope she ain't watching. She still hadn't donated. Kevin Mars' boss.
It's true.
What can we do to help? Now, when the tea maker says that, help normally arrives thereafter.
What can we do to help?
What can we do to help? Who needs help?
Yeah. You can help
Kevin
us
Mars'
like
boss says,
Kevin
Mars, hang on, allow me, because you've already done the warning. Kevin Mars' boss says that, hey, Kenny, who needs help? Okay, well, here's who needs help. Fuck them. There you go. That's Kevin Mars' boss. There you go. That was worth waiting for, wasn't it? All right.
That was.
And then we got Billy Sellers in the house. Hold on a minute, Bob. This is how bad my vision is tonight. I thought Billy Sellers had typed, hello, handsome. Now, how did I see handsome out of that?
I don't know.
That's an ego right there. That's a fucking ego when you see hello, Kenny and everyone. I took a glance and I thought it's hello, handsome. I wouldn't have blamed him.
Well,
I wouldn't have blamed him.
Billy has been known to flirt with you.
Yeah, he does flirt with me a little bit. Speaking of people that flirt with me, look at this.
There you go.
He's a big flirt. He's a big fan of the Star Maker.
He also likes to cheat with appearances on large cars that he then doesn't deliver on.
Yeah, I did the big thing in Evansville, and everyone says I stole the show. There's others that said it was petty theft. And there's many people that said, God, if the Star Maker hadn't been there, that would have been a boring event with Jerry the King Lawler and handsome Jimmy Valiant and Jimmy Hart. And of course, Dutch Mantel no-showed because of Farrah getting his ass whipped. and verbally destroyed. So he bailed on that show. I hope Dutch is watching tonight. I know he is. Hans Moleman. Hans Moleman, if that is his real, allow me to steal one of Dutch's lines. Hans Moleman, if that is his real name. I don't think.
But he has a membership. But he has a membership.
Tyler C's in here from North Carolina. I've been counseling Tyler C. We're not going to talk about what. But if Tyler C had only gotten to me about 90 days ago, I could have saved him a couple of dollars.
So Kevin does say that she's never said she wanted to help. She just asked if there's any challenges. So apparently she is watching tonight because Kevin's trying.
Kevin's covering his ass, isn't he?
Oh, no. My boss is great. She would never do anything like that, can he?
We've had challenges the last 3 or 4 shows. I didn't see any matches coming in. I'll try.
You know what, Kevin? There will be a challenge tonight. I can promise you this. There will be a challenge tonight.
Is there?
I promise you there's one coming.
You got inside information. I must not have been awarded yet.
Yeah. I do.
I went to the doctor's information. I went to the doctor's office today, and the good news is that the bad news wasn't quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah. So we'll get into that on another show. I'm not going to go real deep into that tonight, but the good news is
good news and bad news.
Yeah, the good news is I got some bad news.
Well, the bad news is there isn't any
good news. I got some bad news.
Yeah, the bad news is I lied. There's no good news.
There is no good news whatsoever. No. In all honesty, the bad news wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and there are some adjustments that have to be made, and I do have to prepare for 1, 2, maybe 3 surgeries to get everything fixed that needs to be fixed. I'll tell you one of those I didn't even think was on the table. They are strongly recommending me get knee replacement surgery because my knees have been bad for a long, long time. And even my son said he ran into some people today walking in his neighborhood that said, man, I thought it was over for me. I thought knee replacement surgery was a joke. No, it won't help. I'm not the guy that'll help. People that were nearly as big as you. And said 3 weeks later, they were out and about walking like they never thought they'd walk before within 3 or 4 weeks. I can't imagine that because I haven't been able to do that in so long. I was doing my tracker today to go to the doctor's office, and I went down to the electric assistant's place, and that was, again, at least some decent news. And then I go to, is Copeland claiming he's not drinking? It's not a Japanese table, is it? They're strong as hell. What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Who brought up anything about a Japanese table or something? I don't know.
Maybe that's what he thinks the challenge is going to be, going through a Japanese table.
Going through a Japanese table? Maybe he I don't know. I think he's drinking again, is what I think. So we used to have one badge member on here. We don't see much of him anymore. He used to get mad and you accuse him of drinking, and he'd be drinking.
Yeah.
Don't accuse me of
drinking, Kenny. I'm not.
You said thing. What did I say was on it? What did I say was on the table? Because I do tend to have tendency to ramble.
Maybe you had the surgery was.
Oh, the surgeries. Yeah.
Right. Surgery.
Adam, I'm just going to give you one little suggestion, and I would be the one to give you that suggestion and that advice. Comedy's hard. Cool. Why don't you let the funny people tell the funnies around here? You know, Foghorn Leghorn. I just told a funny boy, and you ain't laughing. See, that's comedy. It's comedy and timing. I'm the Norm Macdonald of podcasting. I'm so funny that only I get it.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of people don't get it. Well, that just means they're dumb fucks.
You're like
I'm all over it.
You're more like Norm Macdonald and you're kind of a mixture of Norm Macdonald and Don Rickles.
Well, yeah, that'd be a good mix. That'd be a good mix. You just tell something ridiculous that nobody gets, and then you insult them for not getting it. That would be a Don Rickles mix, I guess. My doctor today and his assistant, and I think he's wanting to talk. We're talking about percentages of body fat. And one of the patients is bragging about having 10% body fat. And I said, fuck you. We did warn everybody about some language, right? And I said, George Foster, who knows? So I know the guy's pretty young. but he's from Venezuela, so you think he might know a little something about baseball. And I said, you know who George Foster is? And he says, yeah. I said, you lying fuck. You have no clue who George Foster. Okay, I don't. I said, see, caught you in a lie already. And I said, George Foster had 2% body fat. I said, I remember Joe Garagiola, who was my other favorite announcer that trained
Tony Kubek.
No, not Tony Kubek, but he broadcast with him.
Kurt Gowdy.
Kurt Gowdy. And Kurt Gowdy trained who that we had on this show? Tim McCarver from Fox, from Fox. And see, that's why you're here, to help me remember all the things that my medicine doesn't help me remember. And so we started talking a little baseball, and he says, actually, I do remember who George Foster. I said, no, you don't. I said, George Foster played in the 70s. I said, as a matter of fact, George Foster played on a team that swept the New York Yankees. Oh, my favorite team. I said, now I know you're a bullshit baseball fan. The Yankees, you live down here in redneck Louisville, Kentucky. Well, not maybe so much Louisville. You live in redneck Kentucky, probably a suburban area, because you can't afford to live in Louisville where I live. You live in one of these redneck suburban areas, and you're a Yankee fan. Bullshit. I said, you picked up the newspaper one day, read a little something about the Yankees. You saw a story about Aaron Judge, and now you think, turns out motherfucker knows everything about the goddamn New York Yankees. I was all right. So you got me. And he's related to a guy that plays Major League Baseball. I think plays for the Seattle Mariners. He dropped his name. I'd heard the name, but I'd never come back up with it now. Hang on here. Herb Simmons has some Joe Garagiola news. Have you noticed that Herb Simmons is just wallowing around in cash? Herb Simmons might be one of the richest men ever in wrestling. Just what he makes off conventions, advertising me alone, and then canceling me at the last minute. Yeah, and then Herb Simmons is in. He's got. But Herb Simmons is still a Facebook watcher. He doesn't get the big YouTube account with the $20 membership, or maybe the $100 membership. How many of those have we sold, by the way? The $100 memberships.
A number.
Take a look. Take a look.
Zero is a number.
Oh, zero's the number. Okay. And we can't get Herb to watch on a paid membership with an auto deducting donation, not a weekly donation like many of the people here, but he could afford a auto deducted daily donation out of Herb Simmons.
Would that Seattle player be Leo Rivas?
You know, that name sounds right. He's from Venezuela, wherever he's from.
That's the only Venezuelan on the major.
Well, that would narrow it down then, wouldn't it? And so it turns out his brother plays and the doctor's assistant was 27. We talk baseball quite a bit. And he said, man, Dr. Oldham's going to be furious if we don't get back here. He said, man, I can talk baseball with you. I said, let me guess. I said, Doc Oldham. Yankee fan? He says, actually, I think he is. I said, oh, bullshit. Doc Oldham ain't never left Louisville. Yankee fan? I said, y'all fake ass. So I go back and confront Doc Oldham. Well, the Reds are my favorite team. Yankees are my side. So all right, I'll give you that. And and turns out this little guy from Venezuela, he goes to a lot of the Louisville Bats games. He was telling me about Ellie Dela Cruz's minor league career. Shit, I didn't know, because I didn't know about Ellie Dela till a few days before he showed up. He hit a ball onto the interstate. You know, I'm a powerful man. I've hit home runs in that ballpark. My ball didn't come anywhere near the interstate. I just like point. Of course, then again, I hit mine right-handed, and mine went the opposite way where the interstate is. So, yeah. So Joe Garagiola was first to play announcer in 1959 for wrestling and saying, well, I'll be damned. And Tim Brando's father did wrestling announcing in Louisiana, if I remember correctly. Tim Brando's dad had a tie. There is actually a guy from Louisville that was in the MLB, but a car from him, bought a car. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's drinking. And, but Herb Simmons, how much do you figure he's made just advertising me on all those big shows? Like, we might be bringing, but it's never a confirmed.
Right.
And there was a meme there for a while that there
was a poster made, if I remember.
Yeah, correctly. Dutch Mantel screwed me on that too. Dutch and
Barbara Goodish.
Yes. I missed a couple. Yeah, you missed quite a few letters, is what you did.
Well,
yeah, a lot of times it's like if you're spelling MLB, if you just spell M and then put CH, then we don't know what the hell you're talking about. So 2 letters can be detrimental to a statement. So Herb Simmons with some Joe Garagiola history right there. You know what Joe Garagiola used to say? He said a lot of things, but this is one of the things he said. If
Yogi used to tell me this.
Yeah, Yogi told him a lot of stuff. He name dropped more than I did. He's a big name dropper. But Garagiola, one of the great things he used to say, oh, if you can hit with a ballpoint. I'm going to call him on that. I never ever once saw Pete Rose. By the way, I hear that's HBO Max thing is amazing. That is on my list either tonight, tomorrow night, or the night after. My doctor was telling me about it. He's, have you seen the Pete Rose documentary? I said, I've seen it's coming. Oh, it's here. He said, it aired last night. I said, oh, shit. I said, they talk much about the gambling. He said, yeah, they get into it a little bit. I said, all right. I said, well, don't tell me too much. Not a bigger Pete Rose fan. And Pete Rose was the first player I ever loved. Got to meet him a few times. He invited me to his club in Boca Raton. Boca Raton. How many of you have ever been invited to Boca Raton? That's my.
I've been invited to leave Boca Raton, but that was.
Have you been invited to leave?
Yeah, that was just a misunderstanding.
It's like Dangerfield used to say. Yeah, I won 4 days and 3 nights in Vegas. Yeah, 4 days and 3 nights. What do I do with myself nights? I don't know, but get the fuck out of Vegas. You're not welcome here. It's only the days. It's only the days. So, good old Rodney. So the doctor news could have been worse, but there are some adjustments that need to be made. It could be a 2 or 3 stage surgery thing. There might be some shows missed. Boca Raton's means rat mouth. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Sounds good to me. Herb, good to see you. When's your next big deal that you're going to screw me out of? When's the next thing you're not going to book me on? LG&E has sent me a thing, tells me to unlock energy savings. Where was that information when I needed it?
There you go. All right. Well, Twitter is gone. We've been here for 20 minutes. Twitter's gone. Goodbye, Twitter.
Oh, yeah. They got way more than they deserved.
Actually, you know what? I think you have to actually go live.
I've heard that. On Twitter I don't think they were on tonight or the previous show, because I saw a thing light up that says if you don't buy the $8 Marcus ship, the membership, which I refused to do. As a matter of fact, my last logo that I used on this show was the days that I had a verified account for free. You had to earn your verified account back then, the way I did. I didn't buy mine the way that some people in podcasting have done. Some old friends of mine bought their membership for $440. I didn't. I earned mine. The fans demanded that I get a August 3rd Haku making an appearance. Well, I'd be a bigger draw than him. I think everybody would agree, right? Haku, I mean, plus I could probably whip him.
Plus everyone's afraid.
Is he the one I can whip? No, he's not the one I can whip. No.
Not the one.
I have the wrong Haku. There's so many Hakus that are making appearances these days.
If Haku was dead, you would maybe have a 50-50 shot.
If he were dead, I'd like 50-50 on that. If Lashley, MVP, Tamina, how you feel about
all those contracts are supposed to be expiring and not being
renewed. Okay, here you go. Let me show you how much wrestling I watch. I haven't seen Tamina since COVID.
I haven't seen MVP in forever.
MVP was kind of Bobby's right-hand man there for a bit.
A little bit.
Seemed to be the guy for the job, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it was the Hurt Business was a decent faction. And in this day of factions, I think they could bring him back. But I mean, they're wasting Bobby Lashley. They got nothing.
Bobby's wasting. How do you not have anything for? Because number one, since he got away from me, I'll be the first to tell you, he is the one who improved his promo skills the best after leaving me. I don't know what that says about me, but learned to do it his way. Mm-hmm. You know, John Cena was good when he got here. You know, The Miz was pretty good when he got here. My job was to teach him how to survive in the wrestling business, how not to be a locker room prick in the wrestling business. That's my job. I've got that one for life.
Yeah, don't follow me.
But you know, and you know how to get up and down the road, and you know, be on time, be respectful, do what you're told to do in your matches. You know, don't enhance too much. Sometimes you think War Games Blood Gun, Wyatt.
So if I'm going to
do there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there.
If I'm
for a guy that ain't donated.
Right, if I'm going to do Bloodline versus Bloodline, it's probably going to be in a cage, right? So War Games is a good option there.
Well, you can't have wrestling these days without a cage.
Wyatt 6, or I mean, you could do a like traditional Survivor Series match where it's like 5-on-5 or whatever elimination, Survivor Series style thing. So if they want to drag some of those things out, like I don't think we'll see any kind of resolution.
I knew something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right.
Yeah, I was late, so I was on the wrong side.
Yeah.
They have built the bloodline very, very patiently. They have told this story for 3 years ongoing, and it's very rare that you get a story that can be told that long. And there is still obviously the big Roman returns, and then I think that it's going to be like this. I think Jimmy will come back. Jay will.
SummerSlam was what date? August, I guess.
It's a week from this coming Saturday, I believe.
Then I don't think there's any way Roman's coming back for SummerSlam.
No, I think there's going to be like a
quick. I didn't realize it was that quick.
Yeah, I think Jimmy shows back up and helps with Cody and those guys, and then Jay, who's on the whichever Uso. I keep confusing them.
I can't keep up with my Usos. Too many.
Uso.
I know Sammy Uso. The paler of the Usos is the only one I can keep up with.
Yes, the redheaded.
And I could not name one person in the other Uso group. I can't name one of them.
Solo.
All right, now that you drop, if it'd been multiple choice, I'd have got him.
Yeah, it's Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa, and Loa Tonga.
I would have never gotten any of the three of those on one guess. I'd have had to hear the names and then wonder how many of those wrestled in the 70s. I'd have had to how many of those wrestled in the 70s.
They are very 70s kind of names.
My doctor wants me eating more fish and more protein. I said, all right. I did cut out my macaroni and cheese and my tater salad, which I always have in the house because I thought I was doing good because I only have a little bit. Because still to this day, 5 years later, my meals are very small, but due to budget, very carb heavy in some cases.
Right,
making the meal go further, as they say. So I've eliminated. I love having jalapeno cheddars in the house. So it's crispy because it takes me a week to go through a bag. It's just a regular bag, not the family size, industrial size bag, but so I figure if you just eat one of those in the course of a week or so, that's not so bad. Well, Doc said, well, no. And so his suggestion for me was 3 meals a day. Your meals are done by 6, no snagging. And if you're hungry, if you want something, because a lot of times we eat out of boredom. He says, I specialize in this and I get bored and eat. So he says, your go-to are your flavored waters.
Flavored water. Yeah.
He did say the soft drinks ain't as bad as I thought. He said, I'd love to get everybody off from them. And he said, there's so much shit. He says, most of your options are shit that causes cancer. That's so far I've been lucky. Like the flaming Cheetos, the Costco hot dogs,
Yeah, you're better off with a diet soda than a regular soda, but you're better off with water than a diet soda.
You're better off with water than a diet soda, which is what he pointed out today. He didn't slap me as hard as I thought he was because he was asking me, he says, what's in your house that you know is bad? And I said, well, what's good is that I don't eat much of any of it at any one time. Those days are gone. And but we were trying to figure out why I was retaining so much water weight. As you know, I put on 44 pounds of water weight. You couldn't see it in my face for some reason. It was all in my legs and maybe a little bit in the stomach. But 44 pounds of water weight is a lot. Yeah, and it was alarming.
Really bad for your knees. And then that
was bad for your knees, bad for your heart. Bad for your heart. Yeah. Well, part of that is a lot of my heart medications and blood pressure medicines I had not taken in months and months and months because I didn't feel I needed them because I felt fine. And I ran out of them. The doctor did not re-prescribe any. I said, well, if I needed them, I guess they would have re-prescribed them. They didn't do it. So now I got to go see my cardio doctor to talk to them about the knee surgery, when to possibly do that, and to get back on a lot of, not a lot, but probably 5 or 6, which could be a lot for some people. A lot of medications I probably need to get back on. I don't think we've had one donation yet. Well, I don't have to think it. We haven't.
No, and we haven't talked about there's some big needs out there, and
yeah, there are.
I don't expect I don't expect our audience to come up with this, but when Vanessa resorts to cussing, I know that she's getting frustrated.
Yeah.
So
I sent you that last email as I saw it. Yeah. And here's the thing. I was picturing him at least laying comfortably in a hospital bed, getting the shittiest of food, but at least being cared for. No, they're not allowed to hospital. They get arrested if they do. You get arrested if you leave the hospital. Can you imagine that in America? As much as people like to bitch about how bad this place is and how bad healthcare is,
right?
You get arrested because you left the hospital. They normally encourage you to leave the hospital, and they'll deal with you later. They have him set. Do you have the picture? Let's show the picture.
Yeah, I'll download it.
See who gives a shit. See who gives a shit.
Real quick. Just give me one moment.
And he's been in his chair for the better part of 2 weeks now because they won't let him leave.
Yep.
And the original amount of money, they got some fresh air. Maybe she did. My father said they've had him there for 2 weeks. No hospital bed. Need those for other patients that we're going to fuck over later. That's where he's been for 2 weeks. Right. I said, flip them the bird on the way out. They keep giving them deals they know they can't do. And I said, flip them the bird and just fucking go home. No, Kenny, they'll arrest us. They'll arrest you because you left the hospital. Way to go, Philippines. You're kicking ass.
I wonder how good the jails are in the Philippines. Probably better than hospitals.
Repeat that.
So I wonder how good the jails are in the Philippines. Maybe better than the hospital.
Maybe better.
You
I don't know.
So his hospital bill was 20,000 pesos, which they wanted.
A little bit higher than that, I think.
Yeah, but roughly 20,000. So round numbers. They wanted that up front before they could leave.
Around $400.
Right. So then they finally said, okay, you can pay us 10,000 this month and 10,000 next month. And I'm like, they think Vanessa's like, that's a great deal. I'm like, Vanessa, you don't have 10,000. You're not going to have 10,000 next month.
Yeah, how's you don't have the 10,000 and you don't have the other 10,000 they want. So no, it's a horrible deal. It's a horrible
boys deal. Who, God bless them.
Multiple daddies. I feel like she's cheating on me.
Could be.
Multiple daddies. I hope that's a misspelling.
Daddies. Yeah. Well, I'm not a daddy, so.
Yeah.
But so Vanessa,
you're a cat man. You're a cat man's what you are.
Yeah, I'm a cat man. A cat man.
Powerless cat man.
So her boys go out and they run down to the river and they gather whatever bamboo that they can get to sell. And they raise 1,500 pesos, which is really pretty damn good.
$30 in the Philippines. A lot of money for some people.
8,500 pesos. And now she's telling us not to give out her. She says they're not worried about the other 10,000. That's going to be in a promissory note. I'm like, well, you're still going to have to pay it.
Or they'll come and arrest you. They'll come and arrest you.
But if she can borrow 3,500 from someone else, just hoping that we come up with 5,000 pesos, which is, 100. What is it? 5,000.
$100. About $100,
right?
Yeah.
To get him out of the fucking hospital.
To get him out of the fucking hospital so he can go home.
And that was her word.
He's got stage 3 tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not
Vanessa,
one who cusses
as a rule, does not cuss. And Vanessa is the one that is so Catholic, it's scary. And that all of her prayers are going to be answered. And I don't think she's ever had one answered other than what me and Bob do. But Bob is not an atheist, but I am. Well, God sent me the atheist. Okay, all right. Now I understand Trump supporters. So God sent me you. Okay. At least I'm charitable. You can't find any charity.
He didn't have a whole lot, so he sent me you.
Where did Herb Simmons go? I started talking to him about that revolving donation that just comes out daily.
About Haku and then split, right?
August 3rd. Well, he could probably can't book me on that because I got other shit I got to get done. Yeah. St. Louis long haul. Evansville was roughing up on me.
Yeah.
St. Louis is twice the trip. and then some. Yeah.
At current exchange rates, 8,500 pesos is about $150. With fees, it's going to add up to more like 170.
Well, we have a way to do it without fees.
Well, I mean, even
if we get the donations.
Okay. So the actual exchange rate's $145. The exchange rate we're going to get charged by the place that doesn't give us many fees is going to make it more like 150, 160 because they don't give us the flat out exchange rate. They
I got you.
Had that a little bit. So
they all do.
I said I would. I don't have it. I'll just be flat out. I don't have it right now. It's the end of the month. I'm about to give Jelly Bean a month's worth.
Well, plus we have the other thing going on. Yeah.
And plus another thing that she had that I got to take care of, that I will take care of. I mean, I don't have to, but I'm going to. So I don't have it, or I would be more than happy to take care of it. But I will do this. I'm going to make a $50 challenge that if 2 more people can come up with $50 that you want to dedicate to Vanessa, we'll get her out of the hospital. We'll get her dad out of the hospital. I can't. Right. We're not going to promise anything about
that seems like a reasonable challenge to me.
Yeah, we're not going to promise anything about the rest of the money because who knows? Maybe she'll get a job and maybe she'll win the Filipino lottery. Who knows?
You never know.
But let's get
plus she's going to lose. Plus she's going to lose her job if we don't get her out of the hospital.
Right.
I said, well, why don't you have your boys come down there and stay with him? Well, they got to go to school, and I'm not going to put that burden on my boys. Right. They have to go to school. I said, well, all right, I see that.
Makes sense.
I see that.
So I don't challenge for much, and I don't ask for folks for specific things very often.
Pasta Tart and Billy Sellers and those of you, we can't leave the guy there till next Friday.
No,
we need 2 people that ain't going to miss it that might be able to help us out,
or 4 people that can do 25. Something
because I need to help Honey Rose. Honey Rose, they got a lot of flooding going on, and Honey Rose needs about $20 just to get some food in her house. The store she goes to get her money at is flooded. Where she gets her food at is flooded. She's going to have to. I think she called it. God. It's similar to one of our delivery places, but they want to charge her $7 to bring her food. I said, well, yeah, for you, that's a lot of money, but you need food. And so it's going to be about $27, $28 just to get her some food for a few days. And so I told her that after the show that I would help her with that. I get paid tomorrow, but I'm going to try to knock out some of these little things that are piling up. And
I don't get paid again until the 1st. So, I mean, I've got through the weekend before. Yeah. Or again,
well, that's kind of the boat.
I'll probably be okay.
But with Charlie, I now get my check a few days early. My rent is not due till the 4th. So with Charlie, I get my rent a little early, and I did get a little electrical assistance, which bought me some time to pay my electric bill, which now will not be due until August. I think I saw August 9th. What's the date now?
Today's the 25th.
And they dramatically reduced the amount I owe. So that was a big help. So a little relief there. And back in the days of COVID, I used to say, if I get rental assistance, you get rental assistance. When I get electric assistance, I try to pass that on a little bit to those in need that need help. I'm still waiting to be paid out to me once I get. We know the boat you're in, Nicole. We're not worried about you. We know you always do what you can when you can. Billy, we always know you're good for a little something at the beginning of the month. It's all the other people that we're talking to that never donate, never support. So you insult 90% of us. It's way more than that. It's way more than that.
And you know what? We're here to help people out. And if you don't want to help people out, then maybe there's a reason you're being insulted.
I don't know why they're here.
I mean, let's just call it
3 days a week. This is 3 days a week for years and years. This is what we do. And we try to entertain you along the way for your help. Oh, by the way, allow me to do this. Take the sponsors down for this one, because I'm going to go into a bit of a. Hopefully, this will motivate 2 people to donate $50. All right, there you go. I think I've covered this with you after the show the other day, And then I dropped this on Anthony Scaramucci today. I dropped it on 3 of my wrestling friends, and 2 of them don't speak to me anymore because they know there's truth in what I want to say. They don't speak to me. They haven't responded to me. 2 of my 3 wrestling buddies haven't responded to me. Do you realize? And this might, remember, we have not addressed the people about this yet. Do you realize that the reason that Trump got beat the last time he ran for president, I single-handedly, and there's truth behind this. There's truth behind this. I single-handed, and I didn't realize it till the other day when somebody who was a supporter of Anthony Scaramucci on Twitter pointed it out to me. I can't believe, as much as I love to
let's just say
play my own tune, below myself, has been said a time or two. I did not think about this, but when they said it to me, I said, you know what? When I analyzed that whole situation, they're right. I single-handedly defeated Donald Trump. Little old Kenny Bolin from LaGrange, Kentucky, who at the time had not quite reached 60 years of age. I single-handedly ruined Donald Trump's chances of being the president. Well, how the hell, Kenny, can you take credit for that? Well, I don't have to take credit for it. Other people are giving me the credit for it. And Anthony Scaramucci himself on his show on 2 separate occasions, as in a roundabout way, giving me credit for doing it. But without me, it don't happen. Without me, and y'all can shit on it all you want, it's fucking the truth, and I'm going to tell the truth. Without me, what destroyed Donald Trump wouldn't happen. Now, I can't take credit for talking to Uncle Joe Biden and stepping down and then rejuvenating that fucking campaign with Kamala Harris, who the old fat orange man still likes to insult her and call her names. J.D. Vance is a very racist son of a bitch. He's a womanizer from hell. I don't know who she's going to pick for vice president, but whoever it's going to be, it ain't going to be anything like J.D. Vance. And and there's Twitter proof to prove this. Kamala Harris was my pick for president way back when. No, she didn't do so good. She didn't get out of the first round of the NCAA tournament, but she was my pick because she's smart, intelligent, Black, Asian, and woman. And we need something a little different that kind of represents the rest of America. Now J.D. Vance is saying, well, if you're a cat woman, if you've never spawned or produced a child, you should have a lot less say in the laws and phrase it better than I'm doing, Bob. What does J.D. Vance say? And then I'm going to get into why I single-handedly destroyed Donald Trump.
So he said, J.D. Vance said that this country is being ruined by a lot of childless cat women, cat ladies, who are miserable and they want to make the rest of the United States miserable. And in another separate speech said that if you are childless, you should have less say about what's going on because you don't have an investment in the future of America the way parents do, because parents should be invested with their children.
Yeah.
Somehow that gives them more voice in what's going on. Now, never mind the fact that
name Pete Buttigieg in this, who, by the way, has a child, one or 2.
Kamala has stepchildren.
Kamala has stepchildren, sure does.
To her marriage, and you try to tell someone that's a step parent that they're not a parent,
that their stepkids don't matter. You're fucked.
Yeah, you try to tell them their stepkids don't matter. Wrong. But
insult a woman of power because she's Black. That don't go far. Well,
she's the DEI hire. So DEI being the new code word for the N word, right? She's a DEI hire. Okay, right.
They just came up with another word to say what they shouldn't be saying. DEI hire. And they were Tommy Tuberville and many other. And allow me to address this real quick. Cameron, who we know as Little Jimmy LeBeau, and Cam Moron, unfortunately, with all
dual personalities.
With all the horrible shit going on in this world, Cameron suddenly lost his father. He had some elbow pain, a knot on his elbow, and I guess I'm sure, like I would have probably done, his father probably ignored it for a period of time. And when he got it diagnosed, it was a serious type of cancer. And we thought he had a fair amount of time to live. It was going to be rough. It was going to be an uphill battle. But unfortunately, it took him over very quickly. And when we thought he might have at least weeks to live, it turned out it was only days. And he passed away Saturday night, if I remember, at 2:00 in the morning. I know, T-Maker. And Cameron's my buddy. Cameron's been in my home more times than I can count. He's always over here to watch the pay-per-views. Shares in the Bear Nose Pizza Nights with me. My son adores him. And Cameron has been an important person in my life since back in the old house that I used to live in, that I left to get out of there to get over here for a much better place. And his father, Cameron, I don't know. I think your dad was younger than me. I know he's a hard worker, had a great job, supported for his family, took you guys overseas to go on vacation. I know that y'all were near Dublin, Ireland. I know that y'all had plans on seeing Maya while you were over there. And the sad thing is that I only met his dad a time or two. I met him at a wrestling show in Memphis the last time me and Cornette took a trip together down there for the Terry Funk, Jerry Lawler match. Well, Cameron's dad was there. And Cameron said his father was the most proud thing that he ever did is when Cameron broke into the wrestling business. And I'm always shitting on Cameron about what he's done. What he's done in the business, and I still do. But Cameron's dream is to wrestle a match in the building where his father came down here to see Jerry Lawler and Terry Funk, and myself and Bill Dundee were there. Cornette was there, and it was such a fun night. And Burt Prentice made all that happen. Burt Prentice got us our tickets. He got the meeting that I got to have with Lance Russell and Dave Brown. I loved Burt Prentice. Burt was, I've heard some people try to talk a little bit of shit since he's passed away, but I tell you what, he was never nothing but good to me and my son. Never nothing but good. And Cameron lost his dad way too fucking early. And Christopher and I have tried to be there. I think Christopher went to the memorial today, so I know they haven't buried his dad yet because the memorial was today. But Cameron has been a good fucking friend. Cameron's been ready to whip some ass for anybody that tries to fuck with me. He's offered to get in his car when we know where they live. And I've had to talk him out of it a few times because Cameron's a tough motherfucker. We used to tease Cameron about having, it's not supposed to be funny, but retard strength, because we'd get on him. You know, you got retard strength. Well, he's a strong motherfucker. And all I know is that if I'm going to be in a fight, I want that guy and my son with me. Because I don't care how many people's on the other side. I don't like your fucking chances. He's a tough son of a bitch. And so I just want you to know, Cameron, we're here for you. You know, me and my son are going to be here for you. I want you to go out to Two Rivers with me and have that great dinner out there and meet some good people. Not the Trump supporters, but, you know, the other. All right, that's all you're going to meet.
The other one.
The other people. And we're going to do Bear Nose again here real soon. I guess probably for SummerSlam. And so, man, I appreciate you popping in here and saying hey on a very fucking tough day for you. Yeah, goddamn T-Maker, you did. I forgot about that. Cameron joined T-Maker. Cameron might be the only other person other than me and Chris has ever actually seen T-Maker in person. So I forgot about that. Yeah. Overall, a nice guy. There's a backhanded compliment in there if you look for it.
Yeah,
he's overall,
you know, all right. On the whole, he's not, didn't suck totally.
Yeah. Being so kind and supportive through the tough times recently, I meant to what? Well, no, I appreciate you popping in here, Cameron. And I know today was a real tough day. Me and Chris do not do funerals, especially me. I've already made it clear I won't be doing my own. I'll be late. Don't go thinking you're going to see me because I won't be there. But Chris has been going through some shit of his own, and he made sure he was there for you today. And that today told me alone what you mean to him, because he don't do that shit. He don't do it. And he was there today. And that told me right there how much you meant to him. Sorry. Now I feel like shit for taking credit for all this Trump shit. But I'm going to. So thank you.
Get back to anyway, after JD Vance managed to alienate the remaining women that the Republican Party has not.
Whoever thought they might vote for them ain't real happy right now. And JD Vance, another very famous Catwoman out of Nashville. You know her name, Bob.
Oh, I saw where Jennifer Aniston.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a 35-year-old woman who loves her fucking cat.
And has no children.
She was posting pictures. She hasn't endorsed anybody yet. Well, why hadn't Taylor endorsed Kamala? Not needed yet. Big wave going right now. There's only so high the wave can go that you can ride it. Let the wave come back down a little bit.
Right.
And
you don't want to
Taylor
spike
can
it.
put her to.
Yeah, you don't want to spike it when it's high. You want to spike it when it starts to fade.
It's like I told people about the storyline with Roman. Well, we need Roman and Braga. No, Edge Copeland. We don't. It's not time for that yet. Timing. It's not time for the Swifties to chime in yet, because they've already gotten the biggest spike in donations and the biggest spike in registrations since Taylor Swift did it. They broke her record. Charlie XCX motivated more people than Taylor Swift did.
Yeah, well, just wait till October comes.
Charlemagne the God, he wasn't going to vote for neither one of them. Charlemagne the God, very big in the black community, has thrown his hat in the ring and is behind Kamala Harris. And there were a few others that were refusing to get on board that now have gotten on board. So you can have your Kid Rocks. You can have racist ass Kid Rock, I'll say. You can have your racist ass Hulk Hogan. By the way, I just go through my account now, and if people are blowing Hogan, and one girl I've known forever, her name was Patricia. She's probably going to wonder why she got blocked today. My president took a bullet for his country. I said, your president raped somebody. Fuck you. Known her forever.
Even the FBI isn't certain that it was a bullet.
And there's a reason. There's a reason for it. They won't release the medical records to show that a bullet hit his ear. Well, in the way Trump is, if they had medical proof that his ear got hit by a bullet, don't you think he'd be blowing that shit up 10 times what we've already heard? He wore a tampon on his ear for a week. And his son said, well, the gunman blew off half my father's ear. Well, I saw his ear yesterday, Bob. How much of the ear did you see was missing?
There might have been a little tip. But
no, we're not describing Coltrane's penis. No. We don't know if even a tip is missing. We think I think he got scratched by a piece, which eyewitnesses said happened. No, he didn't get hit by a bullet because nobody behind the direction of the bullet went down, or the direction of what he was selling, which was the piece of glass.
Right.
And I don't normally get into the conspiracy theories too much, but this one makes sense. And they won't release the medical records. If he really got hit by a bullet and a doctor or a hospital was willing to put their name behind that, he'd be all over it shit.
Well,
and now the FBI even the fucking FBI is saying we're not so sure. This is the fucking FBI.
Right.
We're not so sure he got hit by a bullet. So they're not saying he didn't, I guess, to leave, did not totally bury his lying ass. And we'll put the sponsorships back up in a little bit. But so back to me. So when I had Scaramucci on, he still worked for Donald Trump. He had not yet appeared on the Bill Maher show. I found out that Scaramucci was following me on Twitter, so he had 1.5 million followers. Could not believe Anthony, because I knew who he was. You know, I'm about as political as you get for a stupid guy. And I was just blown away that a guy that worked for Donald Trump, former White House communications director, former White House press secretary, was following me, and he was still working for Trump when he followed me. I reached out to him, followed him back. He appreciated it. I said, man, you got to do my show sometime. I think he was a little put back that I was willing to have him on my show. He just followed me because John Cena told him to, more or less. And that's the story I was told. And a great friendship was formed that night. He called me, and I saved his number on my landline. That's what they sound like for those of you that never heard one. That's what they sound like. He called me on my landline. We got done with the show, and about 10:30, 11 o'clock that night, my landline rings. And I look at the phone, and it lights up Anthony Scaramucci. You know, he had the real caller ID and everything. So I answer the phone, and he apologizes for disturbing me. I said, no, you're not disturbing me. No, if Anthony Scaramucci calls, I answer the phone. What can I do for you? He said, I just wanted to tell you, I know that you claim to be an atheist, and I don't think you are. I said, well, to me, atheists have never been bad people. And I know I'm going to offend a shitload of you, but this is just how I view it. There's some guy who was, I got sent the clip where a guy said that I wasn't as big a piece of shit as Cornette because Jimmy really shits on people that don't like Trump or believe in God. And Kenny doesn't shit on us as bad as Jimmy does. Kenny's less of a piece of trash. Kenny's less of a piece of trash than Jimmy is. I was, oh, there's a compliment in there somewhere if you go look for it. So I said, well, if you want to come over and have the conversation, I left him a comment on his podcast. If you want to come over and have the conversation, we'll have it. But the rules are, you treat me with respect. I will treat you with respect. But you're already insulting me because I don't believe in the tooth fairy. So here's what we're going to do. I will not insult you because you do believe in the tooth fairy. You don't insult me because I don't. Let's start there. So apparently that comment got deleted. So then I left another comment on my other account that doesn't have as many followers saying, hey, looks like you said you wanted to have me on. You wanted to reach out to me. Well, here's your opportunity. So now we're going to try it again, just in case you didn't think the first one was me. You know this one's me. And I have not followed back up, but he has not reached out to me. Like Rene Dupree has not reached out to me. So a lot of people are wanting to reach out to me that aren't doing it. So, but if he wants to come on on my show and have the conversation as to why Kenny does not believe. Oh, and I knew he was talking about me. He tells the story about, so just because you didn't find a baseball, he's not talking about me. I don't think he realizes it's my story because he did not tie me to it. Just because you didn't find your baseball when you were 7 years old. And then he goes into some ridiculous reason as to why I didn't find my baseball. And I said, no, this proves you're ignorant, because the story, number one, I wasn't 7, I was 11 or 12. And number two, it was a joke that me and Jimmy told him, well, Kenny, why don't you believe in God? Well, I was looking for my baseball one day. So learn to work, you stupid fuck. If you think you're knowledgeable of the wrestling business or the podcasting business, learn when people are working. We told that story 12, 13, 14 years ago on his show, 2012, maybe 2013 is when we told that. I'm the one that told the baseball story, only I wasn't 7. I quit believing in God around apparently 6 or 7, because I remember when they used to make us stand up and pray, I'd look around, I wouldn't close my eyes. I wouldn't worship no flag. So I was making my grounds around 6 or 7. Age 11 is when I stood up to my parents. I said, if you motherfuckers, this is how I said it, you motherfuckers ain't going to church, I ain't going to church. It's bullshit. Using it. I was mouthy little fuck at age 11, Bob. Yeah. You might not have known. I was mouthy little fuck.
And your dad said, your stepdad says, how'd you know I was fucking your mother?
Yeah, how'd you know? So, you know what? All that, I'm going to get to the Scaramucci. I'm looking.
We're an hour in. We're 30 minutes over the allocated time that we gave, and we got nothing. And I had a personal challenge.
We got something.
We got some.
Now, good Chris, who has donated twice this week, is now done it the third time, and then his previous 2 donations were like 40 and 45. He has donated 25, and he is the only donation of the night. Chris, we appreciate you trying, buddy.
We do.
Appreciate you trying. So back to the Scaramucci thing. So I told Scaramucci what was going to happen. He's going to turn on you. You're a decent man. You're a good man. That's why we're having this show tonight. Yeah, you're a devout Catholic. I'm a devout atheist.
Hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to address it. It's not that I want to leave. It's that we're here to raise money to help people. And if we're not getting any money in, we're wasting our time. And Kenny's time's important. My time's important.
The agreement is 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We give you 30 minutes for free.
That's and we do have a little bit that we banked from last time when we went.
We do.
Got a bunch.
And we gave back on some of those bankings on a couple of shows.
Yeah, we did on Monday. Or on Tuesday.
Yeah, we gave back.
But it's not because I want to leave, but it's because, look, we're trying to raise money for people here. And if we're not raising money, I got better things to do. I mean, Kenny's got better things to do. Even if it's watching television. If you guys don't.
T-Maker, let me address T-Maker real quick. T-Maker, you do so much for us as it is. You know goddamn well I'm not talking to you. And I appreciate that. And
I get this.
I wish I could learn. I wish I could learn to day trade.
25 people. I made the list, right? 20, these folks. We're not talking to any of you.
We're not talking to any of the 25
you guys
people.
Have donated something. It's the 50 people that are watching that aren't on this list
for free.
Watch every freaking show and they never give a dime.
Or get a membership to at least help that way, like some of you do. And you can't tell me you ain't got $5 dollars.
And it's very frustrating when I look out there and I see people who are spending $30, $40, $50 for their Uber Eats, and they can't spend $5.
And we got a lot of them.
Somebody that
something came in, I'll guarantee goddamn to you from one of the regulars
across the world.
Yeah, I guarantee you this is from one of the regulars, and we're not even talking to the regulars.
And I'm not railing at you, John Paul. I'm not railing at you, T Mac. You
and,
guys,
and John Paul knows that. I hope he knows.
All of you guys that almost everybody here that participates in this chat is good about donating, and even those that don't give a lot do give occasionally.
Well, Kevin Marr donated $5, so we're up to 30 now. I told you it was one of the regulars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you it was one of the regulars.
It's just, honestly, I don't know why you do it, Kenny, to be honest. It's,
well,
$30 is better than nothing, right? So
better than nothing.
There's at least that.
Better than nothing.
But
we are trying to get,
and I see
we're trying to get Vanessa's father out of the hospital.
Yeah, I see the dozens, literally dozens. Yeah, Billy, of course not, because you're on a fixed income. You give when you can.
No, we're not talking about him.
But there are dozens and dozens.
As a matter of fact, T-Maker and I, or T-Maker's getting ready to do something very nice for my family that I haven't got to do in 7 years. I'll keep it private, but he offered, and I didn't realize the way that he offered it. And then, but he offered to do something very nice. I haven't done in 7 years. Last time I got to do what we're going to do, I did with Jimmy Cornette when we were friends, and we're going to get to do it again here real soon. So T-Maker, you obviously know I'm not talking about you. It's those that watch every fucking show and don't want to help these people.
If you want me to name
the reason we're here, it's well documented that I'm here 3 days a week trying to help these people. The Honey Roses, the Eunices, the Ruby Mays. I mean, I don't have to show all their pictures again. We do it almost every show. You know who they are. Vanessa, who's in a bad fucking situation right now. Put yourself in her place. How would you like to be sitting in a hospital in that chair for 2 weeks, told you can't go home, and I'm sure given minimum. Oh, and they charge you 400 pesos a day for occupying that chair because I guess they're bringing you bread and water. Many people I've talked to that are in the hospital, what do you get? Bread and water. The bare fucking minimum. Way to go, Philippines. Way to go. Government just kicking ass over there. Way to treat your poor people. Way to treat them. So, you know. Well, something else has come in, Bob. A little help from the east. Let me see where this is from. I guarantee it's a regular because I already saw the amount. I guarantee it's a regular. Hang on. Guarantee it's right. I hope I'm wrong. This would be very nice if it's.
I would be shocked if you're wrong.
No, it'll be a regular. I don't know yet. I'm trying to get into my account. Hang on here. Face ID. There we go. It worked. John Paul sent 45 more.
Thank you, John Paul.
Told you it was a regular. And he also knows we weren't talking about him.
Exactly.
So if we can get one more,
we need $25.
$50, even a pledge.
No, $25.
Because I got a lot of little ones I got to take care of. But
if someone can pledge $25 more,
I'll make sure they got it. Yeah. If somebody wants to pledge 50 on a certain day, I'll cover it in the meantime. And in case you're saying, well, why don't Kenny just cover the 50? Kenny's got a shitload of other ones he's already covered, and a few more I got to cover when the show's over to make sure people have something to eat, school supplies, backpacks, pencils. A lot of people start school this coming Monday.
Yeah, we got people that have been longtime friends of the show that we're just telling you flat out, no, I can't help you because your need is not as important.
Not as important as other needs.
And that's hard to do to people because these people that I like.
It is hard to do.
But your need simply, it's not even on the bottom of the list. It's so low.
I saw that quote today. Your needs are not even on the bottom of the list. I saw that quote.
It's not food or school supplies.
Yeah.
Or
school uniforms,
medicines, Yeah, school supplies and medicines.
I got a message. I got a message from an ex-girlfriend yesterday, and I'd helped her get shoes and things that were needed. And she says, I hate to ask you again. She says, but I need 500 more pesos to be able to get 2 more pieces to Kimmy's uniform. And it's $10, you know. So I'm not going to let the kid go without the fucking uniform. She got
only $10. Well, you know what? But $10. You get 10 it's $100.
Yeah, it don't take long. It don't take long.
And apparently,
but that's where, you know, there's 4,700 subscribers over here.
We trust you when we believe you. Thank you so much.
I just love the show. Well, I know you do, John. I know, but I don't want you to put yourself in a bad way either. And $45 is a damn good donation.
It is.
You know. So if there's anybody out there that would like to make a pledge for the last 50, we'll hang around. What time is it now? We've been here an hour and 4 minutes. We'll stay a total of 90 minutes. Yeah. And because we appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you finish.
Or if there's 10 of you out there that want to do 5. I mean, there's plenty of you that ain't donated.
Yeah. I'm going to jump out and get another drink. So
how much do I got left?
Fill my drink.
Yeah, I'm good. I got enough here to pull.
All right, I'll drop out. You can finish the.
I'll finish the Scaramucci story. So back to the Scaramucci thing. Ooh, boy. I didn't think I could look any more handsome, but look at that. So the Scaramucci thing, he calls me. We have a long conversation. Something brought us together. Scaramucci's a big deal. Man works for Donald Trump, White House communications director, White House press secretary, multi-billionaire, owns Skybridge, CEO of a couple other big companies, big deal in Bitcoin when Bitcoin was really doing good back then. And the man calls me and he says, yeah, I know you're an atheist. I'm a Catholic. You know, something brought us together. And he says, Kenny, what I like, he says, you had me on your show because you know I'm a good man. I said, that's exactly why I had you on. I came on your show because I know you're a good man and I know what you do. And I've followed what you do, because it was a little while before we actually got him on the show. He watched a few shows, I guess, to try to vet us to see what we did. And no, I don't want any spoilers because I haven't watched anything today. Proud of my Reds for finally getting a couple of wins down in Atlanta. We'll get into that. So he gives me that phone call, and it just meant the world to me that little old fat Kenny Bolin from LaGrange, who I'm so proud of just what little I have done in the wrestling business to have some notoriety and some fame. And there's a lot of things that you can name that I've done in wrestling that no other manager's done. And I'm proud of that. But for Anthony Scaramucci to give 2 shits about me and what I do meant the world to me. And I told him on that show, well, eventually Trump's going to turn on you. And I'll tell you why, because you're a good man. He's going to say some outrageous lie. You're going to call him on it, or you're going to say, I disagree with that. And he's going to turn on you. Well, 3 weeks later, Anthony Scaramucci's doing the Bill Maher show on HBO. And Bill Maher says, well, Donald Trump says this. Donald Trump says this. How do you feel? Oh, well, I disagree with that. Trump lost his motherfucking mind. Called him before he could get on the plane, talking to the mooch like he's a dog. Mooch, as we now have found out in retrospect, has 10 times more money than Donald Trump ever hoped to have. 10 times more. And that's probably a very underestimated guess as to how much money Mooch has compared to what Trump has. And Mooch said, fuck you. Yeah, because Mooch is you don't put up no shit. You know, you're not going to talk to him like a fucking dog. So the second time he came on my show, well, you were right. You told me it was going to happen, and I didn't think it would. But you told me it was going to happen, and so therefore gave me credit for smartening him up to Donald Trump and to what was going to happen and what he was going to do, and that caused the forming of the Lincoln Project, which was Republicans against Trump. And all these Republicans lined up hand over fist to report whatever dirt they knew about Trump, whatever the truth was they had on Trump. Well, it looks like we got another donation here. This looks like it's going to be a big help to us. And it looks like we might get him out of the hospital. That's the goal. We're working on it. I think we're 25 short of getting him out of the hospital. Daniel Wemley, the king of the $15 donation, has donated 25. So we're 25 short to be able to get him out.
We are not. No, Good Chris gave 25.
Good Chris gave 25.
Kevin Moore gave 5.
Before you say anything, learn to work, Bob, but go ahead.
John Paul gave 45.
John Paul gave 45. Yes, he did.
Daniel Limley gave 25.
Oh, that's right. Because you have pledged 50 yourself. My bad.
I pledged 50 myself. Now, if someone wants to hit, so that's
well, we still have a lot of little help that's needed.
Right. So that's the 8,500.
Nuckin is getting greedy. He's wanting to help little kids.
Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. That's very kind of you to do that.
So we will get that money to Vanessa. I'll send it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to send it over right now, Kenny. So you can get that, because if I send it, it's got to go PayPal and that.
Yeah. We'll do it my way, because it's only a 49-cent fee. I can't believe they ain't shut me down yet. Maybe I gave them more information than you did, because maybe so. I send out way more money, because you had 2 or 3 people you were helping, and then I would occasionally drop 3 or 4 on you. But I've sent out way more money than you have, and they haven't fucked with me yet.
Well,
so
I'm
hoping they don't, because I don't know how we're going to get them the money if they do.
Yeah.
But we appreciate them, and I also appreciate people that don't donate over here solely for the attention. Because all the trolls we got rid of, the only reason they donated was for attention, and that's the wrong reason to donate. Donate because you give a shit about somebody. Why do you help them? Because they're fucking human beings. That's why. And our money will help. Like I said, I can go down, and occasionally we do it. We go down to the overpass down here and feed them. They threaten to arrest us when we do. Oh God, I'm not feeding bears. I'm not feeding deer. Feeding fucking human beings. And they threaten to arrest us when we go down there to feed them. But I can feed, for what I take down to McDonald's, I can feed 3 or 4 families for God. How many days? Now there it is. Okay, your donation came through, Bob. So don't tell Vanessa anything yet. I don't know if she's able to watch the show or not. She'll find out when it hits her Gcash account.
All right.
And so are we doing the whole thing, or are we doing what she said she needed?
We raised 150. We'll send that, right? So whatever that works out. Well, since we raised 150, that's what we're going to send.
Okay. All right.
That's now someone else wants to donate, something else.
What's the total? What's the total she owes?
So she owes 20,000 pesos.
Well, 20,000. Yeah.
Right. So, but
we're just trying to get her out.
Her boys raised 1,500.
Yeah.
So she needed 8,500 more, and that 8,500.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. I didn't even see that part. Thank you, Daniel. It's very sweet of you. Appreciate it.
So,
and then Billy Sellers is doing something at the first of the month, which is sneaking up. Hey, I think far away. It's about a week.
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy. We appreciate you. And we know Team Maker's always good to do way more than his fair share, and we appreciate that as well. Right. So we'll get him out of the hospital. He deserves to be out of that fucking hospital.
Yeah.
He deserves it. And let's see. We'll be here. I guess we'll be here 20 more minutes. Thereabout.
20 more minutes. Yeah.
So let's have some fun. But yeah, I single-handedly brought down Donald. Me. I did it.
Kenny did it.
Me.
So Kenny, did you
argue with me? Somebody argue with me, because if I don't smarten up Anthony Scaramucci, the Lincoln Project never happens. Right. Because he funded that. They didn't have the fuck money to do it. Scaramucci did it.
Did you to shift gears?
To make it clear, to give you why I'm giving myself all the credit, it's a Kevin Bacon thing.
Yeah.
You take me out of the equation, it don't happen. Or at least most likely doesn't happen.
It's a domino effect.
Credit, yeah. So
it's a domino.
Yeah, I'm the Kevin Bacon. Only you don't have to go 7 layers back. It's 1 layer.
Yeah, you're the double baconator is what you are.
I'm the double baconator. I like that.
So earlier today, Corey Graves, the WWE announcer, tweeted out
for some reason I had Cory Booker pinned. What did Corey do?
Booker, yes,
Corey
WWE.
So Corey Graves.
WWE. You know what? Let me just veer off what I was going to say here. One of the things is people talk about who is Harris going to pick for vice president, and they say, well, it could be Gretchen Whitmer, but you can't have 2 women on the ticket.
Well, Gretchen's already said she ain't running, and I agree. In this day and age, as much I would love 2 women. No, not that way. Calm down. Not that way. Okay, yeah, I would. But twins.
At this point, I'd love a living woman. At this point.
So
that could be taken the wrong way.
Oh, and anybody that wants to get one of these, I've still got a few of the autographed copies left because some of you said you were going to buy one and you didn't.
$60.
So I still have some of those left.
Yeah.
For everybody waiting on something to be mailed to them, including Coltrane, it's supposedly we're getting our hair done tomorrow. Got to go down to the Dew shop, not Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew's racist. Did you know that? Please laugh. Please laugh. Please, God, laugh at my racist Mountain Dew joke. That didn't work. Not even with Trevor. So if any of you would like a autographed copy of the Anthony Scaramucci book, got a few of them left because there's about 3 or 4 of you said you was going to get it and you never did because we don't ship them until you pay for them. So if you would like an autographed copy, because they sell for $30 and they're hardcover, they sell for $30 by themselves on Amazon. He's signed, and you it's not like you can reach out to Anthony Scaramucci and get one of these signed.
Yeah.
He was kind enough to
next time you come over to the McDonald's that we both visit, let's
and I did donate one of those to Two Rivers, and I put him up. Yeah, this guy used to work for Donald Trump. Because they're not educated enough to realize what he did.
John Bolton book.
Not the management of Two Rivers, but the associates of Two Rivers
the
aren't educated enough. And when I say ignorant it's like I'm ignorant to ballet dancing. I'm ignorant to water polo. There's things I'm ignorant to. I don't know. Well, there's things about this they're ignorant to. This guy worked for Donald Trump. I'm showing the book. Oh my God, can I touch the book? Yes, please touch the book.
$10. The book will heal you. The book will save you.
Then they melted. Then they melted.
But they say you can't have Gretchen Whitmer because you can't have 2 women on the ticket. You can't have Cory Booker because you can't have 2 people.
Can't have 2 black people. No, God forbid.
But we have happily had 2 old white men on the ticket.
2 old white men more times than we can count.
And we have no problem with that.
Religious nut job white men, racist white men. And everybody's bitching about Kamala. I'll get her name right this time. Everybody's bitching that she's and this is how I would this is how I would do it. Because she's agreed to the debate under the terms that were originally set up. ABC News. Oh, they're not fair. He got everything handed to him on a silver platter on the CNN debate. They wouldn't even fact check his fucking ass. Biden was not in position to do it. He was in no position to do it. And name me the vice president that was known as a fucking genius and a great vice president. Name me the one in your lifetime.
In my lifetime? Let me see. Dan Quayle.
We'll go your lifetime. We'll go your lifetime.
Well, Lyndon Johnson.
Not my lifetime.
Lyndon Johnson was probably a political genius.
Yeah.
Racist as fuck, but
racist as fuck.
Let's see.
That takes a little of the shine off your political genius when you're a racist fuck. Even in
Hubert Humphrey was LBJ's vice president.
Racist fuck? No,
I don't think so. No.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Gerald Ford was Dick Nixon's vice president. Conspiracy theorist, Warren Commission.
Yeah,
covered up the Kennedy thing. Let's see. Spiral Agnew
first. Nixon, which a lot of people say shouldn't have happened.
Spiral Agnew was the first one. So then Gerald Ford. I don't remember who Ford picked. Nelson Rockefeller.
Nelson Rockefeller. Okay. Nelson Rockefeller. Well, I wonder why he got picked.
Yeah. Jimmy Carter had Walter Mondale.
And then we had Walter Mondale was known as a blithering idiot.
Right. So then Reagan had
who's the one that couldn't spell potato? Which one was that?
Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle, known as a blithering idiot from Indiana.
Let's see. And then Al Gore was the Clinton's VP.
The climate guy.
Invented the internet. You got
the internet. What's wrong with that?
Give credit for something. Let's see.
You throwing that up too?
I'm going to need to buy another Bolin book. Someone used one as a cutting board.
Cutting board when he scores. Well, of all the things my book,
but he did read it too. So,
as long as he read it. Tell him if he'd read the fucker before he used it as a
cutting
hardcover
book, he'd have been okay.
Yeah, if it'd been the hardcover Scaramucci book. Oh, and by the way, John Paul has a hardcover Scaramucci book, by the way.
Good.
Well, there it is. There it is. And Tell him not to use this one as a cutting board. How about that?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
All right. So let's see. Where was
I'm so honored to be in that prison educating people.
Yeah. So Corey Graves. Corey Graves tweeted out.
Back to Corey Graves. We went a long way around on this one.
In response to an incident that happened last night on AEW. Now, there was
On where?
AEW.
I have seen none of AEW, and I've seen very little. Wait a minute. Did I get caught up on Raw? I think I'm caught up on my girlfriend, because it's really me she likes.
Liv.
It's not Dom. I think it's me.
Dom.
She's trying to make me jealous with little
what
Dom.
She's doing is she's projecting, right?
She's projecting. Yeah. This is what it could be like, Mr. Bolin.
She's imagining you in place.
Imagining me. I can't blame her for that. Yeah. I mean,
but so
all women have to fantasize.
Last night at AEW, I actually turned on the last 30 minutes of AEW because the show I was watching was over. And so
is Britt Baker back, and is Britt doing anything of worthiness with
she's back apparently. I didn't see her last night, but
really
I didn't watch the whole show. I didn't watch the whole show.
What on the Wednesday show?
I didn't watch the whole show. I only watched the last 30.
So you just saw the last 30.
Right. So what they had was a blood and guts match, which basically is a War Games match, right? So
I hate
Jungle
those.
Boy, Jack, Gentleman, Perry, whatever his name is now.
Whatever his name is.
He's got him. He is handcuffed to the cage. Spread eagle, handcuffed to the cage. Mark Briscoe or Jay Briscoe, whichever one that's still alive.
One of the Briscoe boys.
I don't pay attention to him, so it's not meant to be an insult. I just don't watch it enough to know which one's which.
Couldn't tell you if my life
the living Briscoe brother.
If you gave me 50-50, I'd fuck it up.
Takes a chair and headshot right on the front of the head. You can see Perry lean into it, but takes a
totally
headshot.
Necessary for a fan that 100% knows everything you're doing is a work. Okay, go ahead.
Right. So, but I mean, it was a full-on headshot. You hear this, pow! Now they're saying it was a gimmick chair that somehow, like the
now we can just get a donation out of you. We've really won you over,
or a membership,
or a membership, either one, or both. Yeah, do both.
So Corey Graves tweets out, "We need to protect each other. We can't be." He says, "I'm not making this an us."
Corey Graves from the WWE.
Corey Graves, who had to retire because of too many accidental concussions.
Yes.
So that's why he's not an active wrestler. That's why he's in and out.
Yes.
Said, we got to protect each other. We can't be taking care of that. This is really an unnecessary.
And I totally agree.
Now, he got all kinds of shit because people, it's a gimmick chair. Oh, fans. I mean, the Twitter just exploded, right? The chair was gimmick.
Tell me he didn't get any shit from his own company.
He did not. No.
Good. Well, these day and age, you never know.
And now a lot of people are now reposting it because they captured it. And they're like, you know what? Corey's right. Whether the chair is gimmicked or not, I mean, if you hit them with a sheet of aluminum foil, that's not going to hurt. But if you hit them with a aluminum garbage can, that's still going to do damage.
Yeah.
And you take
ask Duke to Drozy and where he's at in his career these days.
Yeah, you take shots to the head, it is going to affect you, and especially down the road. Now, again, I will never condone what Chris Benoit did, but there is good evidence that Chris Benoit did what he did because of brain damage that he suffered from.
I've told it on here before. I'm going to tell it again now. Myself and Aaron the Idol Stevens talked to him the day it happened. The conversation we had with him, and it was mainly Aaron. I was hearing the conversation on speakerphone at Paul Miller Ford in Lexington. We were there doing an appearance. Benoit calls to, hey, I'm going to be up there to do the TV taping with you guys. Look forward to it. Can't wait to work with everybody. Give everybody my love. Hours later, he's killed his family and himself. There was no indications this man was in a dark place a few hours earlier. And there's only two people that can really testify to that, and that's me and Aaron the Idol Stevens.
Right.
Yes, he called Aaron's phone. I did not have Chris Benoit's personal cell phone number, but me and Aaron were there doing the personal appearance, and he called Aaron on his cell phone, who, by the way, Aaron had not yet been called up to the WWE. He was kind enough to give Aaron his cell phone number, and there was no indication that this man was in any dark place whatsoever. And then I've told the story about the Canadians that he took the time to meet backstage when he was obviously in a hurry to get out of there, to get on a plane and go back home, took the time to meet those Canadian fans that drove down here to meet him. I never saw the person that did what they did. Didn't know that person. He come down, did TV with us a few times. Always a class act. Didn't want to be put over. Didn't ask for special treatment. I remember I was back there once, and he got up to give me his chair because all the chairs were taken, and he knew that I couldn't stand very long. Here, Mr. Bolin, have a seat. Oh, no, and I didn't want to take a seat because it's heat when you take the star's seat. He insisted. No. Eddie Guerrero did the same thing. Eddie Guerrero did exactly the same thing. Did not want any fucking special treatment. Now, not everybody was that way, but Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle were always class acts when they came down to do shows with us. John Bradshaw Layfield's enough. Now, John put her shit to the side. But Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and Kurt Angle were always class acts, did not ask for any special treatment. And I never saw the person that Chris Benoit became. So it's hard. And I loved Woman with a Passion. I never got to meet her. Cornette had nothing but great things to say about her. I thought she had a natural beauty that most women don't have. There was just something about her. I thought Woman was the greatest name for her. She was a woman. And especially in that day and age when you could get by with the shit that they were doing. And I loved her, and it's I never got to meet his kid, and it's a shame what happened, but I never knew that person, so I can't even reflect on that person. And then when a combination of maybe the steroids, maybe the gas he was on, maybe the chair shots, maybe a combination thereof, created a person that none of us wanted to know. And I've heard people tell me stories that Chris Benoit was the last fucking person you wanted to get angry. I don't know if he drank or not. It seems like I heard some stories about he was an angry drunk. If I'm wrong on that, then somebody was speaking out of turn. Pithead, we're waiting on you. Come on, Pithead. Let's do something.
Yeah. So do you believe the theory it was actually a hit, just made to look like it was him?
No,
I don't believe that.
No.
They did the study on him afterwards. You know, his dad had Benoit's brain sent to science, whatever, studied at the same place that studies all the NFL, the brains of the NFL players. And they said he had the brain structure, whatever, like a 65, 67.
I can see that because they took all the stupid non-working chair shots. Hit me as hard as you can so it looks good. They know it's a work, so who gives a shit? I refused to blade. Oh, Kenny's a pussy. Yeah, Kenny still has his facial structure too.
Yeah.
Kenny doesn't have Jerry Lawler's forehead, Bill Dundee's forehead. Glad I did.
Forehead.
And also never got hit. I got hit by one chair. I agreed to do it for Jerry Lawler because they wanted me to get hit with a chair shot to have a reason for me to get out of a situation. And it was Sean O'Hare. And fortunately, Sean O'Hare picked up the plastic chair, not the metal. And Sean purposely took care of me. Could have grabbed the metal chair, but he grabbed the plastic one. And he hit me with the plastic chair and even then worked it and gave me the glancing shot instead of, because he could have hurt me with a fucking king-size pillow. Sean O'Hare could have hurt me with a king-size pillow and put me in the hospital. He was that fucking strong. But Sean took care of me, picked the softest of the two chairs, and then worked the chair he hit me with. But it looked good for the show. Everybody thought I got the shit knocked out of me. And there you go. So, all right. So let's get back on what we're talking about. We got a good 5 minutes.
3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. So you want to pick it? You want to pick your vice president for Harris? Who do you think is going to be?
I still think the wise choice, and there's been a couple of others coming there. You cannot go wrong with the Colorado, Arizona, or Pennsylvania picks.
Right.
Pennsylvania's got a shitload more people. Which of those three are we most likely not to get? And so I'm going to say that Shapiro is the obvious pick, the one you picked the other day.
Right.
But if she goes with Colorado, what's his name?
I don't think that Colorado's close enough of a swing state that they need to.
I agree. I think we have a much better shot at taking Colorado. Arizona How many
Jared
lunatics
Paulus.
are in Arizona? That's the
Jared-
land of
Jared
the land
Paulus
of Lake,
is
right? What's that lady's name? Lake.
Well, that's the Kerry Lake, but yeah, so that would
Kerry
be
Lake.
Mark, the former astronaut, Mark Kelly.
Where's he from? Because he brings legitimate.
He's the Arizona senator right now. So
Arizona senator. Okay, that wouldn't be a bad pick either.
the problem with that from a Democrat perspective is that if you select Kelly, then the Democrat governor will name a replacement. It'll be a Democrat. In fact, Arizona state law, this is interesting. I didn't know this till the other day. Arizona state law requires the governor to pick someone from the party of the senator who resigns, leaves, whatever. So if it was a Republican, they'd have to pick a Democrat.
Have to be a Republican. Yeah, well, it seems fair.
No. If a Republican was leaving, right, they'd have to pick a Republican.
Yeah.
However, the law also says they don't just fulfill the rest of their term; they fulfill the rest of the term until the next election, and they have a special election. So they'll have to do a special election in 2 years.
Right.
So rather than be guaranteed that 4 years remaining in the term, you only have 2 years. So
I don't have a problem with that. Seems fair enough under the circumstances.
No, it is fair, but I mean, from a strategic standpoint, do you want to risk that seat in 2 years? Whereas with the governor of Pennsylvania, the lieutenant governor is already going to be a Democrat that takes his place, and so you don't really have that. And I think,
which gives us more reason to lean on Shapiro.
And I think that Shapiro is term limited. I don't think he can run again. If
I don't think he can either. Yeah, there's a lot less risk in that choice. A lot less risk. So yeah, I'm leaning on Shapiro. But I also said Trump would take the money guy, Doug Burgum. But they thought they had it locked up. He may
still take the money guy because apparently he's having second thoughts about JD.
What would be the ramifications to pick a vice president and then 2 weeks later kick him out?
It's actually happened at least once.
I'm anxious to hear the story because I was going to ask you. Surely to God, this has never happened.
So,
I fucked up. Sorry, bitch.
Yeah. So let me get the year right because.
But even Republicans are saying this is the biggest monumental fuck up of all time in picking a vice president. Brings nothing to the table. He's more extreme than the piece of shit that you're voting for. At least he hadn't raped anybody he did hump a couch. What's that about? Give me the story on humping a couch.
That is not true. It was reported that
I heard it's true, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it was reported that in his book, The Hillbilly Eulogy.
There you go. That's a great bad mouth in Appalachia, by the way.
That he had carnal relations with the couch so that he could have carnal relations.
Well, this got documented somewhere. How did this story get out?
It's the internet.
I heard he was the one that told it. No,
it's even
where did the story come from? Give me the source of the story.
It was some Twitter account tweeted it out.
That he humped the couch.
Because
there's a lot of people reporting it as if it's fact.
Well, that's the way Twitter works, right?
Then a lot of people reporting that Trump got half his ear shot off and needed a tampon on the side of his head for 7 days.
Yes. Well, I think the reason that he picked Vance is that Vance uses the same eyeliner as Melania, and that she could actually borrow some from him.
They're very similar. I don't know. If I'm running for president, that's why I think me and Mooch would be great. Mooch could clean up all my shit because he's the voice of reason and sanity. So when I'm out there ranting and raving and humping couches, he can come in and clean that up. I mean, maybe not literally, but I'm not cleaning up Bolin's couch. That's on him. He can clean up his own.
Doesn't matter who runs with Bolin.
No, it don't matter. It could be me and Michigan Mike.
If Bolin's waiting in the wings,
it could be me and Michigan Mike. It would not matter.
I
want to ask Michigan Mike because they're not running for anything. I need to get that exact sign and put it in my yard. I just need to do that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about? I've got one of those devices in my car. We're going to go overtime tonight. I got one of those devices in my car that patches into your old 2004 stereo, and it just makes it like brand new. And it's got all the apps, and it Bluetooths into your stereo system. And but the thing where it sticks to the window, and you have the adjustment of this 7 or 8 inch screen. has come loose and the screen tilts down, and there's no way to fix it. My son says, well, in Bolin fashion, you could just order that again, keep the part you need, and send the other. I said, well, I could, but it's a $250 device that you got me for Christmas. So no, let's not rattle any cages by doing that. So I'm sitting there today, and there's my damn screen tilted way down, and I have my reverse camera in there so I can see how to back up. That reverse camera bails me out of a lot of shit. I have a Coke can in there, and y'all know that Bolin Club Snuggie I use. Sometimes you'll see me put it on these bottles.
Yeah.
So I've got that in the car because I took me a cold Coca-Cola to the doctor with me, who then tells me, "Oh, if we're sugar-free, it ain't that bad." So I take the Coca-Cola can in the Snuggie, lift up my screen, wedge the Coca-Cola can in the Bolin Snuggie, which says Bolin forwards and backwards, so that way if you pass by the car, you can see who the car belongs to. I wedged it underneath that thing. It was a perfect, customized Volvo fit to where it elevated that screen to a better place than it's ever been, higher than it's ever been, much more visible than it's ever been, and a fucking empty Coke can fixed my mirror. I hit every pothole and every what are those things? The humps. Yeah, I hit every one of those.
Couch humps.
Never budged, never moved. It got put through all the testing all the way home. Perfect fit. I'm going to leave it the way it is. So the Coke can, my Snuggie will now remain in the car. I'll have to maybe order more because there was a pussy from Australia that mailed me those when he was blowing me, and then covering up that kid with my hoodie. He sent me those. So the pussy fixed my mirror for me, or not my mirror, but my backup camera, my sound system, and all that shit. So I figured that was worth something. No one donated. That was worth a $50 donation right there. Kenny Bolin fixed his thing with a Coke can, and proud of it, I might add. But the Snuggie makes it look like a professional install. You don't really know that's a Coca-Cola can there. Now you just, well, why is that Snuggie holding up that device? Perfect fit. I'll take a picture of it next time I'm in the car, Bob. You're going to be impressed. My son hasn't even seen what I've done yet. He does not know I fixed this.
Well, they'll be impressed.
And on the way home, just the screen, just perfect position. The rear view camera, if somebody comes up behind me, I leave my rear view camera on when I drive. Because if you're getting too close to me, I want to know. And the camera is in the license plate, you know. Is that weird? Yeah. Should I not do that? I don't know.
So, the vice president that left
the device president, the device
president, yes,
yeah.
In 1972, George McGovern selected Thomas Eagleton to be his vice president.
Well, I was 12 then, and that one I missed that one on the NBC Nightly News.
Well, I was following NBC Nightly News, and actually I was watching
Huntley Brinkley
because Walter Cronkite was telling me that's
Cronkite was on assignment. You didn't know that.
For Huntley Brinkley.
Yeah, Cronkite was on assignment.
And Frank Borman, or Frank.
Yeah, who was the ABC News guy in 72?
It was Frank something. ABC.
Frank Ott.
News.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
give me multiple choice. Give me multiple. Now, if it's Frank.
I'm having to look it up because I don't remember his name.
Give me multiple choice on the ABC guy. I don't remember that name, but we were big Huntley Brinkley people.
So Peter Jennings.
Peter Jennings wasn't there in 72.
No.
Peter came in a little later than that, around the Iran-Contra.
The only name I'm going to give you is the name that it is the guy, because Frank Reynolds was his name.
Don't remember him at all.
I remember his picture. You'll see. You saw his picture. Harry.
You know why I don't remember him? Mm-hmm. Because back in those days, our televisions were so shitty that our TVs did not have UHF adapters. I had to buy in 1974 a UHF adapter to go on my 19-inch TV so I could get 32 and 41, and so I could watch pro wrestling on channel 41 when it left wave 3. And that little adapter cost me $20. And it went into the hang on here. This is important shit. You got to know this in case you're ever put in this position. You had to hook the adapter, which had tubes in it, and it was brown, and it looked like it was made in the 50s, and it would get very hot. And you had to hook the terminals into the VHF terminals of your television. And then you set your TV on a certain channel to get the UHF channels. I think it was maybe channel 13. Unfortunately, we did not have a channel 13 because they were in Indianapolis. So you put your TV on channel 13. You get your UHF channels, and that box would get so fucking hot you would burn your hand to turn on the UHF, and it would take about 5-10 minutes for it to warm up to get your UHF channel. So that's why I didn't know who was on. We didn't get the UHF channel. We got 3 and 11, and then out of Indianapolis we got 4, 6, and 8. I'm sorry, 13 was Bowling Green. Excuse me, 13 was Bowling Green. 4, 6, and 8. 4, 6, and 8 were Indianapolis.
The only city
That's
named
what we
after
watched.
Kenny Bolin.
That's what we watched. They've changed it since then. But yeah, we would watch Sammy Terry out of Indianapolis on Channel 4. But no, we didn't have a UHF adapter. I didn't get one until 74, 75. Yeah.
All right. So Thomas Eagleton was George McGovern's vice presidential nominee. It was revealed that Eagleton had been hospitalized several times for depression and had gone through electroshock therapy.
They had depression in 72? They must have imported that from Europe.
Well, they had the Great Depression back in 29.
That's a separate kind of, that's a different kind of depression.
This was a leftover depression.
They must have been leftover depression.
Yeah. And after that came
See,
out,
they didn't have anxiety and depression when I was a kid. It was called ass whipping and an attitude adjustment's what it was. There was no such thing
Well, that's why John
as anxiety and depression and Ritalin, and it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Oh, he's depressed. No, he ain't. Slap.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
he ain't
once the
depressed no more.
electroshock therapy part came out, Eagleton was forced to withdraw. It was a big embarrassment to the McGovern campaign. Sergeant Shriver was named to replace him.
So because the poor guy was going through anxiety and depression, and he would have fit right in well with today's candidates, they ran him off.
Yep.
Bob, Bob, are you allergic to dark mode? What's the deal over there?
Well, it's like every time I move, well, I don't know. It's on dark mode. I got my page on dark mode right now. It still looks bright. I think part of it's because there's a light. There's a light right in front of me. Alexa, turn off the air conditioning.
Turn that light off. Yeah, turn that. I want to see what happens when you turn that light off.
Okay.
Well, a little bit.
Now it's not as bright, but there's the shadow, and I got.
Well, why is my skin tone so prim and?
Because you're a beautiful man, Kenny.
Well, all right. I just wanted to hear you say it. I just wanted to hear you.
Yeah, Alexa didn't know that. Alexa, turn on the light.
Alexa didn't know them. Alexa doesn't know.
All right.
Computer.
Alexa, shut up.
What's the outdoor temperature?
Candlelight.
Right now, it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Still warm.
Expect a low of 67 degrees.
That's a little more tolerable.
What's the current weather?
Uh-oh.
The current weather is 83 degrees
83 here.
Fahrenheit.
You're only 3 warmer than me.
Tonight's
Yeah.
Tolerable.
skies moving in and
We had a
out.
high of
A low
93
of
today.
73
Yeah, that's
degrees.
all right. Mr. Michigan, I hope you had a good time tonight. Thank you for your help. We really appreciate it. Let's read the donut. Have we done all the damage we can do here tonight? We actually went 11 minutes over.
Good Chris, $25. Kevin Marr, $5.
Thank you, good
John
Chris.
Paul.
Good Chris is over $100 for the week.
Bad Chris, $0.
Who? Bad Chris? No,
Bad Chris,
Chris.
$0.
No pasta,
Daniel
no
Lindley,
nothing. Bad
$25.
Chris. Allow me to repeat.
Pithead.
Bad Chris didn't do shit.
Yeah. Pithead, $00.
Yeah.
And John
Can we
Paul,
read everybody?
big.
Can we read everybody's name that didn't do anything? Now, I'm not talking about the regulars who have pledged or have done in the
All right,
past.
so the ones that
Let's
didn't
name
do
everybody
anything.
that didn't do like Pithead. Pithead. He didn't do anything.
Pithead didn't do anything.
Stuck
Hans
his nose in
Molman
here. Didn't do anything.
did not donate anything.
Molman. If it was, does he have a membership? The Mole Man.
Yes, he does have a membership.
He does have a membership. That's something.
Yeah.
That's something.
Kelly Price did not donate anything. Who's Kelly Price?
I didn't see Kelly Price in here. Kelly has donated in the past, I think.
Okay.
And got a badge. Yeah.
Adam Copeland trying to be a boss, trying to be a heel, drinking up a storm.
Drinking that alcohol. Somebody say
He knows
something
who
about
George
alcohol.
Jefferson is.
There's my alcohol right
He's
there.
obviously been drinking.
A little bit on the hands there.
But Edge donates quite a bit. Iceman donates in a blue.
Iceman donates when you shame him for about a month.
Yeah.
If you shame him real good for about a month.
Herb Simmons makes his daughter donate when he comes on the show.
Yes. Herb will have his daughter do it.
We do appreciate that, though.
Well, Herb heard us talking about money.
Ruby May does not donate. She actually undonates. She's an anti-donate.
Look at that face. When you got a face like that and you're 14 years old, by the way, going to be turning 15 November 29th.
And not getting a birthday party.
Dutch Mantel, Jerry the King Lawler, JBL, Eunice, and Chenny, all 6 people with birthdays November 29th.
Cameron didn't donate, but we're going to give Cameron a break.
We're gonna cut Cameron some slack. We're gonna cut Cameron some slack.
Yeah, that's it. So Billy Sellers promised to make a donation soon, and we trust him there. Teammaker, who always donates a lot.
If you were at your father's funeral service today, you don't have to donate. That's the only exemption. All right,
there you go. That's the person who's not exempted. Pithead.
Yeah, Pithead.
We could wait. But we might be waiting a long time.
Hiding his real. I know that's not his real face. I know that's not. That's the one he covers up his real face with. So, well, if I put that on, then no one will know I didn't donate. Well, no, we're on to you, Pithead. We got you. He's finally voting blue, though.
At least that.
Which means he hadn't known what the fuck he's doing for all the rest of his life. I'm finally voting blue. Well, what have you been waiting on?
He's not voting for a Democrat, though. He's just voting for the color blue. I vote
that could be too. That could be.
He's going to have some blue around here.
You may have got me.
All right, we might be back on Saturday. Depends on.
Yeah, there's is the pay. So the pay-per-view is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Okay, yes. I'll probably be doing a Bear Nose watch along that night over here at the home front. Hopefully, we'll have Cameron join us.
I actually will not be watching it live. I have a convention to go to next week.
You got a what to go to?
A convention, a board game convention.
A board game convention.
Yes, I'm going to go hang out with a bunch of nerds and geeks.
Well, you're going to feel right at home. You'll never.
I will feel right. You know what's funny?
You'll never come back.
When I went to, there's a
lose Bob forever.
And there's a place up in Denton, which is north of Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's where the University of North Texas is. There's a place there called Reaper Miniatures. They manufacture the little miniatures that Donald Flowers paints. It's one of the companies that makes those. And they had a big Kickstarter for some miniatures that they were producing, and I backed it. And they had a big party at their factory on the day that the Kickstarter, finished off. So they had a big party, and I'm like, "Oh, cool! It's just down the road. I'll go down there. What the heck?" So I go down there. I never felt so out of place in my life. I thought, I'm a nerd. I'm a geek.
Damn.
Oh, no. On the geek scale, if the geek scale is 1 to 10,
you were like
I thought I'd be about a 5 or a 4. No, I'm not the total geek, but I've got enough nerdiness about me. No, I am like a 2. I am like a 2.
Sounds like a rough crowd.
Yes, it is a rough crowd. Next, they have dice and cards. And they might even,
unless it's Andrew Dice Clay, I don't even need to hear anymore.
They might even have meeples.
Yeah. Oh, for those of you that, some of you have asked, Kenny,
vaccination.
Some of you have asked, Kenny, what's that shirt you're wearing? That is one of the Louisville Cardinals logos. And I like that logo. And Chris and Maya got that for me for Christmas a couple of years ago.
I'm representing.
I think so much of this shirt that I never cut the sleeves out of it. Most of because this is made of the real good material. And I never cut the sleeves out of Bob's shirt that he got me, the Gunsmoke shirt. That'll be coming back soon. Hopefully, if I lose some of this fluid and water weight and make that shirt fit me a little better, it'll look a little better on me, maybe, and by the winter time, maybe. We'll see how everything goes.
Right, so I'm representing the old Global Wrestling Federation tonight.
That'd be them. Who was their biggest star?
The Patriot. Well, Eddie Gilbert was there.
We've had talks about that in the past. You got mad at me because
we did.
My good friend, the Patriot.
Because you were going to bring on the fake Patriot.
He would have been. If he'd have been alive today, he'd have took Hogan's place.
He might have. He might.
Who better than the Patriot to go out there and rile everybody up?
Yeah, I'm surprised that old Tom wasn't
Dana White.
I'm surprised Tom.
How did Dana White get by with slapping his wife without hardly any repercussions whatsoever? And I don't want to hear she hit him first. I've been hit first before. You don't get to hit women. Why did he get by with it? Big tough motherfucker.
He's a big tough motherfucker, I guess. He's got a lot of money.
Well, I don't give a fuck. He's on camera slapping.
When you're famous, but when you're famous, you can just grab him by the
I guess. Famous and a Republican. Break all the goddamn laws you want. How do you feel about that, Michigan Mike?
He's not famous enough to break laws.
Slapped his wife on camera. Got by with it. No repercussions. No consequences.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there was at least there was not a lot of consequences.
No, it wasn't a lot of repercussions or consequences. Not a lot.
All right, we've been here almost 2 hours, so let's.
Yeah, we gave the people their money's worth tonight, and thank you guys so much for those of you that stepped up. No new donations. I was one of these days I'm going to do a show, and if we don't,
there will be a new name on
donations in the first 30 minutes. I'll just end podcasting altogether because that'll about seal the doom. You're not going to get 6 new people to do it.
There you go. If you hate Kenny Bolin that much, go find 6
there you go.
people
You know how to get rid of me. You know how to get rid of me.
$100,000 a piece.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, I'm out of here. I've got 3 pieces of fish left to eat, and even though the doc told me, Kenny, try getting the habit of not eating after 6 o'clock. Well, I'd like to get in the habit of being asleep by 9 when this podcast starts and up by 6. I'd like to get in that habit too, but that ain't gonna happen. So we'll make some adjustments though. Eating healthier, not a bad idea. That's always a good idea. And less sodas, also a good idea. More water.
Well, now,
so until possibly
sodas, one thing with less sodas that would cut down on your sodium, and that sodium leads to water retention. So,
yeah, because I've been averaging 3 to 4 a day. Yeah. I've been averaging 3 or 4 a day, but there was a time 6 or 8 a day wasn't any big deal. Jimmy would drink a 12-pack a day of Sprite. That's and the sugar version too. 12 sugary Sprites a day. I got the Spike can over here. I'll show it on the next show. So yeah, if anybody out there wants an Anthony Scaramucci book, my book, John Paul says they're in need of one thanks to a cutting board accident. I don't think it was an accident. I think he was trying to cut my nose off.
If you're watching this show afterwards and you still feel like you need to donate to help out Vanessa, look on the side over here.
Vanessa can use as much. Show her father again. Before we go, show her father again. There's only about 20 people left, but we'll show it.
Right there. That's his hospital bed.
He's been there for 2 fucking weeks.
Under
on
house arrest,
on a monoblock chair, as she called it. I didn't know that's what they were called. But I have to admit, who's that girl in the gown with the teal top on? Who's she?
That's
probably a guy.
Vanessa. It's probably Vanessa.
Probably a guy. No, I've seen Vanessa's hair. That ain't her.
Yeah.
That ain't her. All right. But that's her poor dad. 2 weeks. Just picture anybody you know, care about, give a fuck about, have to sit there for 2 weeks and they won't let you leave the hospital. Those somebody new help out. Just show you give a shit.
Right.
Or don't.
All right. Temporarily so I can show you this, folks. Yeah. I do this all the time. I'll get it backwards.
So there you go.
There's the ways to donate.
I don't need the attention anymore.
Yeah, pick one of those. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Pick one of them. Send
a card, any card.
Make a note. It's for Vanessa's dad. Or if you want to help someone's mom fly across the country,
well,
we're not paying for that. Sorry.
Yeah, that one. Sorry about that one.
But
to quote my old buddy James Storm, who once called himself the Star Maker, sorry about your damn luck.
Why did he call himself the Star Maker?
He did one show back in like 2012, 2013 on TNA, I think it was. Where he called himself the Star Maker, and I lit him up on Twitter. And the next week he wasn't a Star Maker no more. But you remember when Charlotte Flair tried that shit,
right?
It didn't go well for Charlotte, did it?
Well, Triple H shot that down because he's.
I think Triple H. You know what? I don't like that Bolin guy. He sucks as a human. But goddamn, Charlotte, of all names, of all the trouble, all the attorneys, a couple of our Filipinos in here. Mylene was needing 1,500 pesos to help with her kid, also in the hospital. I told her we would see what we could do tonight. And then there's Eunice Verabolin. Hi, Daddy. Hi, Sir Bob. Aunt Jana. Jana, you better reach in your pockets. You got pulled into the family. And everyone in the show. There you go. How you doing, Eunice? We never did kill
Sir Coltrane. Oh, well, forget about that.
Oh, well. Did he even use an excuse tonight or just absolutely no-showed? No call, no show. You get fired for that in the corporate world.
I haven't heard from him in a bit, so
that hasn't been a while.
To reach out to him and make sure that he's not
or we just leave him alone and just let him be. We just leave him alone.
He's become the Republican vice president.
That could be. Well, his package is supposed to get shipped out tomorrow. I've been told. So and he's supposed to pay for it tomorrow, so that would work out good. I hope he's okay because he owes me money.
Well, there's that.
If he'd already sent the money, I'd have a lot less concern.
Yeah.
So yeah, Coltrane, if you're out there, check in with us, man. Let us know you're okay. No call, no show, though, is what he did tonight. Sees me struggling over here the other night, comes in to save the day. Tonight, nah, they got it. They got it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. If I plan on doing a show Saturday, but if scheduling changes that shit, I will let you know. But I plan to be here Saturday night, 9:35, at least for a half an hour, 45 minutes. And if the donations are good, I'll stay longer. All right. Until then, that's Bob Hazelwood. I'm Kenny the Star Maker Bolin. For the missing train, we said.